Hey everyone, welcome to a new style of video that I'm trying out. So it's the holidays, it's December, and I'm taking it kind of easy during the holidays. Putting out a deck tech every week along with all the other content keeps me busy, but I think during the month of December, especially when it's, family and friends, even though I guess there's not that much family and friends this year, but whatever there may be. I figured let's shift gears a bit before the new year, and I wanted to share some of my casual decks that I actually own. To be fair, every deck that I've deck teched on my channel since the beginning of this year, I do own in paper. I mean, that's something that I've promised to all of you. I will try not to deck tech a video. I'll try not to deck tech a deck that I don't actually own in paper, just to show you that I've actually committed to that deck and that I really think you should try it out. But I do have quite a few casual decks that I obviously don't play that much anymore for many reasons, and this year wasn't very conducive for casual play with friends, that's for sure. But I figured, hey, let's spend this Friday going over a casual deck, and if this goes pretty well, I'll keep doing this at least for the month of December, and then back in January we'll get back to the good old Delver Brews content that you're used to. And yeah, I want to share with you today a Dinosaur tribal deck that I created. I mean, it's not that old, it's relatively recent considering Ixalan was when a bunch of dinosaurs were printed. And yeah, let me just get all these cards here. So, unlike my competitive decks, not every card here is foiled. Not every card here is matching necessarily in terms of foil or style or version. And yeah, I mean, it's casual. It's kitchen table magic, and that's how I like it. So it's a bit more janky, and I think that's fine. I think that's a good thing. Let me just zoom in here a bit, because I'm going to try and lay them out here. So yeah, my Dinosaur tribal deck. It's on the slower end of things. Let's take a look at some of these creatures here. So I have creatures on the lower end, and I'll zoom in a bit more so you can see what these creatures are. So I play 4 of these, and these are like the lower curve, so 4 or less. Starting with Sky Terror, Flying Menace, which is pretty good for 2 mana, and it's a 2/2, so it's flying up in the air. It's pretty early on. I'm going to be hard to deal with when I'm playing against my friends, and that's annoying, and I like that. And I'm playing 4 of Relentless Raptor, so it has Vigilance, which is pretty cool, but it has to attack or block each turn if it can. Again, it's not bad. It's a 3/3, so if you're putting on early pressure and your friends aren't necessarily aggressive, well, then you're going to start, pressuring them. And what's great about this card is that you have to attack, right? So, and you have to block. So they can't really get mad at you. You got to do it. The card says it. I mean, what am I going to tell you? It's not like I'm choosing to, counter your spell or something. Up next on the 3 mana scale, we've got creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped, which is great. Slow down your friends' cards, slow down your friends' creatures while you attack with bigger ones. So I think this is a pretty cool, and it's a flyer, so a bit harder to deal with. And then I'm running 4 of Raging Regisaur, which I think is pretty cool. Whenever it attacks, deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So you could attack and then deal 1 damage to one of your other friends, whatever. If you're playing multiplayer, you could deal damage to another creature or deal damage to your opponent, or win in a battle against a 5/5 or something, whatever it may be. I think it's a pretty cool card. So I think these 4 dinosaurs, they kind of make up the lower end of my deck, because everything else is super expensive. That's just how I built it. These ones are not bad. These next ones, this one in particular, I play 2 of. So if a source would deal damage to another dinosaur you control, prevent all but 1 of that damage. I got 2 of them, but even if you just had 1, it's kind of annoying. So you have these big dinosaurs, and it's going to be even hard to beat them in combat because you're preventing all but 1 of that damage. So yeah, I think this is just an annoying card that I like to play against my friends, of course, or at least I used to. And then literally everything else So I think there's like 10 creatures here. They're one-ofs. But they're all strong in their own way, which is why I don't need to necessarily, like, if I land on any one of these, I'm actually happy. So let's go through each one. So Ripjaw Raptor, for 4, it has Enrage. Whenever it's dealt damage, draw a card, which I think is pretty cool. And it's a 4/5, so it's got a pretty big body. It's going to be hard to deal with. And yeah, it's a one-of. I don't need too many of those. And to be honest, the curve on this deck is kind of stupid. Then you have Ghalta, Primal Hunger. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty easy to reduce the casting cost of this card, given the other creatures that we're playing. And it's a 12/12 trample. So I don't know if I need to explain to you why it's awesome. And again, you only really want one. You don't want to draw more than one in a game. And you know, your friends are going to have trouble getting rid of it in the first place. Carnage Tyrant is pretty intense. The only thing is, like, a lot of my friends don't play counter magic. So I mean, it's not like I need a bunch of these. Plus it's 6 mana, so it's kind of brutal. What I like about it though is once it does land, it has trample and hexproof, which means, yeah, it's only dying in combat. And yeah, my friends do not like that card, but it's okay. We're all adults, and we gotta take it as it is. Zatalpa, Primal Dawn. Yeah, I mean, flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible. What? What? Like, okay. Alright, I mean, granted it's 8 mana, but I mean, it's doable, and yeah, it's a 4/8 double strike, which is relevant. My friends can't deal with that. Let's see. Now we got Atali, Primal Storm. Alright, there's a lot of text here. Let's read it. Whenever Atali Primal Storm attacks, exile the top card of each player's library. Then you may cast any number of non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. So again, brutal, especially when you're playing multiplayer, which I normally am in casual. It's a play group of at least 3 or 4 people. So this is just brutal. And it's only 6 mana, so it's not necessarily hard to get out. Yeah, you swing in and you cast your friend's spells. That's one of the most annoying things you can do. For 9 mana, I mean, this is just, again, another brutal card to bring out, and you only really need 1. Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. Okay. I mean, it didn't need much more than that, but then it has a bunch of abilities that you could sink your mana into, which I think is great. So gaining 3 life in casual is pretty good. Destroying target artifact or enchantment is going to be annoying for my friends who have all enchantment decks, who think it's funny, or all artifact decks, which I guess I'm more used to, or 3 damage to target creature. So yeah, Zakama. I actually got this when the foil wasn't that expensive, and now I think it just kind of blew up in Commander, so the value went up, so I'm kind of happy about that. Awakening Sun's Avatar, another one-of. Whenever it enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, destroy all 9 non-dinosaur creatures. Okay. So this is basically a board wipe card, and I mean, I'm running Dinosaurs. No one else I know plays Dinosaurs, so this is a pretty good board wipe, just to get rid of all the creatures. And imagine, I mean, in the deck where I'm playing massive creatures in the first place, that could pretty much win me the game when it enters the battlefield. Shifting Ceratops I found pretty cool. Can't be countered, fine. Protection from blue. So so you could pay 1 green. Shifting Ceratops gains your choice of Reach, Trample, or Haste until end of turn, and is a 5/4. So I thought, again, this was pretty cool. Not necessarily something I want to draw many of, but for 4 mana, a 1/of, 5/4, can't be countered, protection from blue. Again, I mean, if I am playing someone who wants to play Permission, I find that fine. I could deal with it. Gorging Ceratops, 7 mana, so again, don't want too much of it. Double strike, whenever Gorging Ceratops attacks, other creatures you control gain double strike until end of turn. What? Again, ridiculous if you think of all the dinosaurs I'm playing and the creatures and what they do. This is just kind of like, it makes combat math complicated. My friends are taking out their counters and figuring out what's what. I think it's just a nice little chaos card, actually, more than anything else. It's a 3/3, but that's fine, because it's going to cause so much chaos anyway, assuming that, you know, you've had other creatures stick. Verdant Sun's Avatar. Whenever Verdant Sun's Avatar or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. So I mean, if you look at all the toughness of all the creatures here, yeah, I'm gaining a ton of life, which is awesome, especially in multiplayer, because usually I'm the one who's playing the most annoying deck or the strongest deck, so everyone tries to attack me and get rid of me. So I try and focus on life gain in my play group, and this deck is pretty good for life gain. It's going to make it harder to kill me, and that's fine, because the more annoying I can be to my friends, the better. Yeah, and it's a 5/5 as well, so kind of hard to get rid of. Up next we got Polyraptor for 8 mana, Enrage. Whenever Polyraptor is dealt damage, create a token that's a copy of Polyraptor. So, okay. Again, another brutal card to bring in. I don't need many of these to be annoying, and again, it's a high price, but that's a great effect to just have more and more dinosaurs, and actually, you know what, it kind of synergizes with Verdant Sun's avatar. Silverclad Ferocidon. Whenever Silverclad Ferocidon is dealt damage, each opponent sacrifices a permanent. Again, brutal. It's a must answer. And I get to force my friends to sacrifice permanents. Yeah, indestructibility be damned. Thundering Spineback. Other dinosaurs you control get +1/+1. I mean, if this was like any cheaper, I would probably be running 4 of, but the fact that it's 7 mana, I can't really justify playing too many of these, but it's a nice little lord, I guess. Technically, it's a lord. It's a lord-like effect. Give all my other dinosaurs +1/+1. Its second ability there is pretty cool. I mean, if I have nothing else to do with my mana in a turn, definitely going to create another dinosaur token with trample, which is pretty cool. Last but not least, yeah, Gishath Sun's Avatar. 8 mana, Trample, Vigilance, Haste. Yeah, I think... Yeah, so whenever Gisham's Sun's Avatar deals combat damage to a player, reveal that many cards from the top of your library. Put any number of dinosaur creature cards from among them onto the battlefield, and the rest in the bottom of your library. So this is a 7/6. Do I need to tell you how insane this is in a deck that's playing like 30 dinosaurs? It's a very annoying card. The minute it lands, everyone's going to moan, and it's just fun to play. So yeah, there's a ton. I think there's more than 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I have 14 just one-ofs. And like I said, all of them have pretty cool, unique abilities. So I think that's pretty cool. The only non-creature spell I have in this deck is Once Upon a Time. Because this is one of the few formats where I can actually play Once Upon a Time. So why not? I mean, for those of you that don't know why this card is banned in every competitive format, if the spell is the first spell you've cast this game, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Boom, done. It doesn't really matter what the rest does. This is why it's broken. So, instant speed, you can cast it at any time as your first spell for free. And you look at the top 5 cards of your library, you may reveal a creature or land card from among them and put them into your hand. So I can keep like a greedy hand of like 1 land or 2 lands, and Once Upon a Time, and boom, I'm almost guaranteed to get another land off the top 5 cards. So Once Upon a Time, the gift that keeps on giving, and it's legal and casual, of course, so all things are go. And then we have the lands, so I guess I'll quickly go through the lands, why not? So Clifftop Retreat. I like the art, so this is the only time I could actually mix art and not be frowned upon, because it's casual, so no one cares. I just wanted to try out the different art because I like it. And there's Clifftop Retreat for my mana fixing. I also have Sunpetal Grove. Again, I mean, since I could have a bit more freedom with my casual decks not matching, I just chose the arts that I liked, and I really like those arts, so that's what I picked. I think I'm playing 4 Jungle Shrines, because these are actually the colors that I'm playing, red, green, white. So, my Jungle Shrines, looking pretty cool, pretty snazzy. Then I got a bunch of basics. I mean, I chose different art. I spent time going through the different arts in forests, for example, and picking out the art that really stuck out to me. So I think this is a cool forest. There's a little treehouse there. I think that's pretty awesome. Another forest that I really enjoyed the art for. I think it's really nice. There's a nice little creek or water running down. So I really, really like that. This one just looked cool. It's kind of, you know, vintage style look. It's the old art styles. I just think it looked pretty awesome. And here, I mean, this is just a forest, but I don't know, something about it, the way the trees were drawn, I enjoyed, and it has kind of like the shrubbery you would expect from the dinosaur era, so I thought it was kind of on theme. And this forest I just liked because I thought it was cool. I don't know what to tell you. I believe that's Amonkhet, right? Yeah. I just really liked it. Then I got the plains. Yeah, I mean, plains, that's plains, I guess. I really like that art, not necessarily because it's plains-like. Again, I really liked the art. I really like the structures that are in these lands from Amonkhet, so picked it. This one's just nice. The sun's beaming through the clouds. It's like a morning, you know, like a nice little sunrise. That's nice. It's all about escapism, right, everybody? This one's nice, dreary. For some reason, it reminds me of Hawaii on my honeymoon. There were some landscapes that we saw in Hawaii that, I don't know, for some reason kind of look like that. Yeah, I mean, that's plains. I just thought it was pretty cool the way it looked. It's almost like hair braids. Mountain. It's a mountain. I don't know. This might have been random, I have to admit. This one I really loved, even though it's supposed to be mountain fire. This could have been technically a forest card as well. But I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. It's nice, a nice little contrast with the red. Yeah, this one's nice too. I really liked it. And of course, last but not least, Ancient Ziggurat. So yeah, that's my casual Dinosaurs deck. I hope this doesn't discolor your high esteem that you've held for Delver Brews, showing you competitive brews in Modern, and then all of a sudden showing you the jank that I play at the kitchen table when I have the opportunity. So yeah, let me know what you think if you like this kind of video. It's nothing special, I guess, but if you like it, I'll show you all the other casual decks that I have. I hope you do, because I kind of need to fill in the slot for December, and I kind of slotted in all the casual decks for December. So you better like this. And if you don't, I'll just delete your comment. No, I won't do that. I will not do that. But I would really love to hear what you think. If I should do something else, if you think I should explain more, or if everything was just done right. Yeah, let me know. And maybe, I don't know, I'm thinking about next year, maybe delving into Commander. Even though I'm going to have to admit early on that I'm not a Commander, specialist at all. I played a bit of one-on-one Commander, like competitive Commander a couple years ago, but it didn't last long. I played some casual Commander as well. It didn't last long because my play group wasn't really into Commander. But I really want to try it out. I want to build, you know, a trillion Commander decks. So we'll see. Maybe I'll start decking Commander decks every other week or something. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below as well. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content in general, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, all the social media that you prefer. It all helps with all the algorithms out there that are favoring larger channels and hiding smaller channels. I would really appreciate that. If you're interested in becoming a patron, check out the Patreon link in the description of this video. I set up pretty cool tiers where patrons basically get free rares and mythics, non-bulk, sent to them at the end of every year. And within each patron tier, a few random patrons are selected to get an extra bonus card that has, let's say, $20 to $50 in value. So I think it's pretty cool. It's my way of thanking patrons for supporting me. So check that out. Thanks, and have a good one.